First, you hit the button in the bottom left-hand corner, which brings up the M1. And then right above the M1, or right above that button down here in the bottom corner, you would hit the horseshoe, which would bring the all metal right above the M1. And then you would hit the arrow directional pads. You would hit the arrow button over on the right, which would bring the arrow across the top of the screen moving. You would move it to the farm, which would be field mode. And then on the bottom right hand corner with the three buttons across the bottom of the screen, you would hit the bottom right hand corner button. That will bring you to recovery speed, and the bottom toggles in the bottom left hand corner, which would bring up a number. I'm on 3. You're probably on 5, which is the whatever you call it, the original number or the original settings for the legend. The recovery speed. I like to keep it at 3 if I can. The more trash you have, the higher the setting you need to have it at. If you don't have a whole lot of trash, I try to keep it low. I got mine set at 3. So then you want to, hit the button in the middle, the bottom buttons, hit the very middle button. That brings up iron filter. Then hit the directional pad buttons, hit the right button. Or you want the iron filter, you want it to be on 3. That's the sweet spot. So whatever you're on, you're probably on 8 for that. That's for the normal settings of what it would be on. So you would bring it, if you're on 8, you would come down with the directional pad till you hit 3. So once you get it at 3, then you would hit the directional pad to the right over until you come to ST, which is stability. That's the stability for the iron filter. You want to make that all the way up to 5. Once you get it at 5, you want to hit the directional pad over to the right again. That's bottle cap. I don't mess with bottle cap. We leave that at 0. Hit the directional pad over after that. That's ground filter. I don't mess with ground filter. We hit the directional pad to the right. That's deep target. That's DT. I set that at 2. So wherever you're at, you hit the direction pad up or down, or whatever you need to do to get it set at 2. Hit the directional pad over after you get it set to the right, and then you're back to iron filter. Once you get that all done, you hit the middle button down there in the bottom. The three bottom buttons, hit the middle button. Once you've done that, then you would hit the directional pad button on the right. That moves your toggle button over. Once you get your toggle button over to the sound speaker that's flashing, you would hit the 3 bottom buttons. You would hit the middle button. That's your audio gain. You go up or down until you get that set on 4. You click the button again in the bottom middle. That goes to the volume. Click it again, it goes back to audio gain. So I don't know where you was on that. I was on audio gain to start with, so you might have been on volume when you clicked over to there. So one click goes to audio gain, and the bottom middle buttons down there. One click goes to audio gain, the other click goes to volume. So I keep the volume on 3. So up and down directional pad will move the volume. Click it back in the middle down there. Up and down directional pad will move the audio gain up and down. So I keep the audio gain at 4, directional pad or button down in the middle, and I keep the audio gain at 3. Or I keep the volume at 3. Okay, and then the directional pad to the right. That gives you another toggle that's flashing. Once you get it over to there flashing, you would push the directional pad up. That'll give you a P. That is pitch mode. Once you get to pitch mode, you would go to the directional pad to the right. Once you get to the right, it'll start flashing an icon. Once you get that flashing icon, you would push the directional pad up, the arrow up. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Maybe you push, okay. 3 buttons on the bottom. You push the middle button. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what I did. Yeah, all right. Oh no. Yeah, I pushed the 3 buttons on, I pushed the button, three buttons in the bottom. I pushed the middle button, and that brought me down, and then I went back up, and apparently, I don't know what happened, it started working. But once I got that flashing on the right, it brought me a number. So, all right. This right here is the volume. As you can see, I can go to the right and I can go to the left with the arrow buttons, like that. So I'm going to go back to the left. The left is the volume of the stuff I don't want to keep. So I keep that at 5. The right is the volume of the stuff I want to keep. I keep that at 10. And then I hit the button in the middle, the 3 buttons. I hit the button in the middle. And then I hit the arrow button over. And then I hit the arrow button up. This is the tone of the things that I don't want to keep, which is a grunt. This is the tone of the things that I want to keep, which is a pitch. Okay, so I'll let you hear. That's a grunt. That's the pitch. So then I'll hit the thumb button in the middle, directional button over, directional button up. Okay, this is my tone break. This, I keep at 30 because I'm a relic hunter. So this is I keep it at 30, like I said. Anything to the left of 30 is going to have a grunt. Anything to the right of 30 or to the right is going to have a pitch. So basically, that's how relic hunters work. You hunt with finding mostly your pitch, and then you look at the number and you go from there. So that's relic hunting, basically. So let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.